Karen, I was reading the original letter from your principal that nominated you for the ExCEL Award, and I quote, "I am thrilled to have the opportunity to nominate Karen for this award as public recognition for her accomplishments is long overdue." Amazingly, Karen, that sentence sums up what the ExCEL Award has been about since we first presented it in 1989. The founders of the award believe that teachers do not get enough recognition. Our mission after we present the award is to tell the world your story through our television station and our website, and we will do that on both platforms tonight. It will be a story about you, but it really is meant to honor all of your colleagues in the teaching profession, all of those here that are your friends and coworkers at Westport Middle. I know, and you know, that they all work very hard every day. Teaching is hard work. But I know that your classroom is an especially difficult job because you're working with students that have a wide variety of special needs. It's up to you to understand the strengths, the needs of each student, and develop an individual plan that will help them learn and help them grow. Of course, students learn in different ways, at different levels, but one phrase about you seems to crystallize your approach. One letter of recommendation said, "Whatever it takes, she communicates with each of her students." That's the line about you. Whatever it takes. You have repeatedly demonstrated the ability to create instruction approaches that meet the various needs of your students. And of course, Karen's contribution to public education goes beyond her classroom. She is the department chair. She spends extra time working with student teachers to pass along her skills and work ethic to a new generation of teachers. And I also know that you're reaching out to establish a close relationship with the parents of your students to create a bridge of trust between the classroom and the families. Karen, by the time our ExCEL Award team arrives at a school, I'm sure many people wonder, what took you so long? We have known for years that Karen Stark is a special educator. As one of your colleagues wrote, she is one of the most amazing teachers I have ever seen. And Karen, we agree. Please come forward on behalf of WHAS-TV and LG&E KU. I present you with the ExCEL Award. Now, Karen, that may be more valuable than you know because it has the original date, March 4th, on it. we might put a little parenthesis that says snow day or something like that on there. We're delighted, and we were willing to change it, but I think in terms of just sentimentality, it works for me if it works for you. Also. We have a second part of the ExCEL Award, which for many people, including most of the kids present, is really as exciting as our Golden Apple presentation. And that is what we call the Big Check. And presenting for LG&E KU, our co-sponsors, please welcome Cheryl Williams. Cheryl?
Thank you, Gary. I'm sometimes known as the big check lady. Usually whenever we walk into a school and you have that big check, everybody's like, oh, it's the big check lady. On behalf of the employees at LG&E and KU, it is my pleasure to be here today at Westport Middle School to honor an exceptional teacher. I know I'm not saying anything that those of you in this room don't already know, but in reading through the application and the letters of support, it truly is evident that Ms. Stark is incredibly exceptional. She's made such a positive impact on the lives of her students and obviously on their parents and their families as well. What better qualities could you want in a teacher at your school? It's an honor to recognize someone who works so hard to make a difference in the lives of others. Ms. Stark certainly deserves this honor. And to help Ms. Stark further her commitment to her students, I'm extremely happy today to present the big check, a little version of the big check, and an actual check. Now, Gary referenced the fact that this event was supposed to have been held on March 4th, so our big check shows the March 4th date, but the actual check has the current date, so she's able to take that one to the bank and cash it. The big check, the little check really will make a big difference in Ms. Stark's abilities to make a difference in her classroom. We're presenting her today with a check for $1,000 on behalf of LG&E and KU WHAS ExCEL Award. I will now hand you the little check, the actual check.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One of my favorite big check stories, a teacher put the check up in the room so the kids could look at it, and it was sometime in November. And then after Christmas vacation, she came in and she saw the check. She thought, well, that's been there long enough. I'll just put it over here in the closet. And when the kids arrived, they all yelled, "Where's the check?" So she had to get it back out and present it for the rest of the year. Well, as always, we're delighted to welcome the superintendent of the Jefferson County Public School System for a special presentation from the school district. Please welcome our good friend, Dr. Donna Hargens. Donna?
It's such a pleasure to be here, and we always make up the things that are really important, like learning time and like recognizing excellent teachers. So I really want to say what an honor it is to be at Westport. I've had the opportunity in 2.5 years to be at Westport, so I really want to commend Stacy Edelman and her staff. But I've also met amazing parents and amazing students. So there is a special environment here at Westport, and I say this community is really, I call it lightning in a bottle. It's lightning in a bottle to let the rest of the world know about Westport. But this ExCEL honor is really a special honor. It's a symbol of excellence and a symbol of extraordinary commitment to students. Jefferson County is so grateful to LG&E KU and to WHAS 11 for giving us the opportunity to honor the top teachers in our community, Mrs. Stark being one of them. Her colleagues say she has an amazing ability to differentiate instruction. She establishes close relationships. She implements research-based programs. And I love this. She is what we all aspire to be. 2 observers actually visited Miss Stark's classroom as part of the process. They said she makes real-life connections to impact learning. She uses sensory strategies to maintain focus, and she uses a range of resources. And her lessons are always meaningful to students. So Mrs. Stark, on behalf of the Jefferson County Public School District, I want to congratulate you on winning the ExCEL Award. I want to thank you for your commitment to teaching, to your school, and most of all, to these wonderful students. It is my honor to present you the Superintendent's Medallion. And the other honor I have is to work with 7 amazing board members. And Miss Wesleyan is here representing the Board of Education. She is a tireless advocate for every student in the system and for Westport Middle. So it's my honor to introduce to you your board member, Debbie Wesleyan.
Thank you, Dr. Hargens. We are all proud of Dr. Hargens, and we're proud of all the students here, too. Dr. Hargens said we have a 7-member Board of Education, and that's true. I'm one of 7, and I represent the part of the community that Westport sits in. So I'm particularly happy when I'm at a school that's in my district with excellence that we can talk about. Congratulations, Karen Stark. On behalf of the board, I'm so glad to be here. We talk a lot. When we meet, we talk a lot about all the factors that go into success for kids. We know that the most important factor is the teacher and what happens in the classroom. As other speakers have said today, there's not one way to reach a child. Good teachers connect with their students where they are. And what students need isn't standard issue, and you know this better than most. You embrace the value of each child in such a way that your colleagues want to share your excellence. The children in your care get an individualized education based on what they need and on what they can give. You don't protect your students from the world. You help them find their place in the world. Allowing space for work like yours is the beauty of a public school system, and it's also its great challenge. It's easier to specialize in one type of child, to draw the circle small and safe, limiting who and what we teach. It's more challenging and complex to draw the circle as wide as necessary, and Karen, you're among the reasons why we can do that and why we're successful at doing that. Surely a goal of what we do is to create a climate that all children are valued, can contribute, and that they thrive. The things you do with your students is amazing, and you've heard about that already today. Not only do you focus on academics and connect your students within the Westport Middle School community, but you use the wider community as your classroom so that they can develop skills to navigate their lives. There's a place for all students here at Westport, and it's wonderful that some of them have landed in your care for a while. Thank you for striving for the best in each child. Congratulations again, and thank you for stepping into the spotlight so we can honor you a little bit today. And I have an award on behalf of the Board of Education to give you. So up again. Congratulations, Kim.
Now, please welcome, representing the Jefferson County Teachers Association, Tammy Berlin. Tammy.
I'm proud of you, too. This young lady is a student at the school that I teach at currently, at Atherton, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right, yeah. And she thinks so highly of Miss Stark that she got released from school early so she could come see Miss Stark get all of her awards, so,
CDs,
yeah.
My Country, Happy Song, Brush Your Teeth, Celebration, and Fall.
Awesome. Okay, so a little secret that I think most of us know is that outside of their parents, there is no one in the world that cares about your children as much as their teachers do. And from everything I've read about Ms. Stark and everything I've heard about you today, I know that is absolutely true, 100% for you, Ms. Stark. And I can see it on your students' faces. So kudos on being an excellent teacher. Cary Grant once said that there is no greater achievement in life than gaining the honor of your peers. And that is truly what Ms. Stark has done. All of the teachers in Jefferson County that I represent, all 5,700 of them plus, she represents all that is the best in us. So it is my pleasure today to present Ms. Stark with the Schoolhouse Award from Jefferson County Teachers Association.
Very good, Miss Stark. Picture. Can I give it to Miss Stark next time? Yes, you may.
Now presentations from Westport Middle School, and we begin with Counselor Alyssa Habermel. Alyssa?
Nice report, everybody.
Well, Ms. Stark, you know I think you're amazing. And everyone has said pretty much what I would like to say, but I'm going to say it again. I I believe that all of my colleagues feel the same way, that Karen is a gifted, exceptional child educator. She's a blessing to all of her students and to us as a faculty. Her knowledge of research-based practices enables each of her students to experience success with the acquisition of core content and functional life skills. She models compassion and kindness on a daily basis. Karen, I don't think, has ever used the word can't. I don't think it's in her vocabulary, because she will find a way to teach a skill or to get the job done no matter what it is. She's a role model for us all. We love you, Karen. And did I mention how sweet she is? Because we went a different route and got her a candy bouquet.
Do you appreciate it?
Yes, I do.
Now, please welcome parent Emmeline Riggle.
Thank you so much for this privilege to speak today. When I was asked to speak in honor of Ms. Stark, two things came to mind. I was told make it brief, 5-minute speech, and first thought was 5 minutes is just not much time when I could go on and on and on about how great a teacher that Mrs. Stark is. But the second thing that came to my mind is I just have so much love and appreciation for this teacher of my son that if I start to cry, it might take me 5 minutes just to regain my composure. So for the sake of time and before I lose it, let me just quickly move on and mention that John Maxwell, who's a New York Times bestselling author and an expert on leadership, says that people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this fits Miss Stark so perfectly because everyone knows that she surely knows a lot, and yet she cares even so much more. She truly cares about all the kids in her class, not just as students, but as people who are deserving of our love and respect. And she gives of those so generously. She is patient and kind. She is considerate. She is a wealth of knowledge, a treasure, a gift, and yes, a blessing to all of her students and all of the families. For Mrs. Stark, teaching is not just a job, it's a calling. She works very hard and with much passion. Seeing her students succeed surely puts pep in her step. She uses wise and time-tested, research-based procedures to teach, but she's also not afraid to think out of the box. She is an exceptional teacher who teaches exceptional students in an exceptional manner. This mild-mannered, quiet educator is an advocate and supporter for what is best for her kids. She offers help and advice to parents. I don't know how many times I've heard her tell a parent, please let me know if there's anything I can do, make visual supports for you to help at home. Or if you ask a question and she doesn't know the answer, she will surely connect you with someone who does. She sees each student's potential and works hard to lovingly encourage them to do more than they might ever think they could. It's so fun to watch her work with a student and to be there when that student succeeds at a task. She beams with pride and joy as if that special one were her very own son or daughter. I don't know how many times I've heard her say to a child that is challenged, "You're so smart." When you're the parent of a typically developing child and you send your student into a new environment, you take some comfort in knowing if something doesn't go quite right in the classroom or in a hallway, they'll come home and tell you. But when your student is disabled and unable to have a conversation, it takes a whole new level of trust to be able to put your student into an environment where you are not there. Mrs. Stark won our trust quickly when my husband David and I visited her classroom for the first time. It was very clear within minutes that Mrs. Stark loves her students and her students love Mrs. Stark. Like many students, my son Evan was not a fan of school when he entered Mrs. Stark's classroom. It absolutely amazed my husband and I how quickly his attitude changed. No more fussing to get out of bed in the morning. No more dragging his backpack into school. No more screaming and scratching out of frustration. Evan began to happily and quickly get up out of bed. He happily and quickly got on the bus, and boy, were we happy about that at home. Evan loves Mrs. Stark. She makes learning fun. My son, that is 5'10", towers over her 5-foot frame. But wow, does he ever look up to her in so many ways. This very experienced teacher is given the same amount of time as every other teacher in the system, yet somehow she just seems to stretch so much and an awful lot into those allotted hours, even on days when she will take extended time to calm a child that is having an especially difficult day. She somehow manages to still get it all done. Every up-and-coming special needs teacher and special education assistant should be honored with the privilege of learning from her. She is extraordinary, and her classroom should be the model by which every special education classroom is established and managed. When earned praise comes her way, she is quick to direct it to her well-trained and dedicated classroom assistants, Mr. Doug and Miss Shannon. I've heard her humbly say, "I couldn't do it without them." I pray for the day when all of our special needs students have a teacher that is as special and precious as Mrs. Stark. None of the students in her class, including my son, are able to construct and deliver a speech in her honor as I have today. But if they could, they would. They would stand here so proud of their teacher, and they would say, "Thank you, Mrs. Stark. Thank you for loving your job. We can tell that you do. Thank you for always making us feel warm and welcome every time we come in the door. Thank you for going the extra mile to know what we like and dislike. Thanks for keeping us safe and helping us to feel safe when we are with you. Thanks for raising the money to buy extra things that help us, like iPads in our classroom. Thanks for taking us to the jobs room every day so we can learn basic life skills that most people take for granted. Thanks for taking us shopping every week and out to eat once a month so that we can learn how to do things that other people do all the time and don't even think about, but are really hard for us. Thank you for believing in us. And thank you for celebrating with us when we succeed. And oh yeah, one more thing, Miss Stark. Thanks for teaching us about life, about learning, and about love. You're the best. We love you. Congratulations.
I have to say, this is really fun, so thank you for being so awesome so that we get to do this today. And also, before I say a few words about Ms. Stark, I have to congratulate our Dove students out there. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Thank you for your attention out there. It's not easy to sit through a program with a bunch of adults talking at you, so I really appreciate your attention today. We've heard all kinds of very true and very valuable things that Ms. Stark contributes to her students and to the families in her classroom. I'm going to talk about how important she is to us as a leader.
She's very humble and she's very modest and she doesn't like this kind of attention, but in her way, Ms. Stark is a very critical leader here in our school. She has been a member of, an elected member of the Site-Based Decision-Making Council ever since I came here, and she has been right there with me, supporting all of the changes we've gone through and all of the things that we have needed to do. And she is well respected by her colleagues and elected every year to serve in that leadership role and represent the teachers in the school on the council. She also works with an amazing staff on the Doves team. We have 4 wonderful special needs teachers in Ms. Stark, but also Ms. Gallagher, Ms. Jackman, and Ms. Rolette, and their instructional assistants. And Ms. Stark serves as their team leader, as they have forged a very special identity and a very special place here in our school. Mr. Rodemeyer mentioned earlier, Ms. Stark also prepares our future special needs teachers, and she works with U of L and she mentors student teachers. She has observers coming into her classroom all the time. I know she presents. She has even done classes at U of L, and she is contributing in a very important way to the field of education and to education of students with special needs. And I think most importantly, she is a leader as a model. The way that she conducts herself, the kind of true, honest, warm, caring person that she is as a model and a leader for all of us here. And so we're very appreciative and very proud of you, Ms. Stark. Congratulations. And I have something for you too. This is a little statue, one of the angel trees holding a dove to represent the Doves team.
Ms. Stark, I am so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Now please welcome the newest winner of the WHAS-TV LG&E KU ExCEL Award, Karen Stark.
Okay, I think I need to do something that we do in my classroom to calm down. I either need to do 10s and 7s class or I need to do me moves to calm right now.
Uh-oh.
Right. Okay, good afternoon. I am extremely honored and humbled to receive the ExCEL Award. I would like to thank LG&E, KU, and WHS 11 for this wonderful award that recognizes and rewards the contributions of public school teachers. I would also like to thank Gary Rodemeyer, Cheryl Williams, Dr. Donna Hargens, Debbie Wesland, Tammy Berlin, Alyssa Hebermel, and Emmeline Riggle for their very kind words. I would like to thank Dr. Edelman for nominating me. I would like to thank the professionals that observed and interviewed me. Teaching is my passion. I love my job on the days when everything runs smoothly and I see that my students get the big idea. But I also love my job on the days when everything seems to be more difficult to handle. The reasons I love my job are sitting among you. I teach 10 wonderful students with different abilities. I work with the 2 exceptional instructional assistants, Mr. Doug Heyer and Ms. Shannon Pierce. I could not do my job without their help and support. We are a team. We are all teachers, and we are invincible. I teach alongside 3 other wonderful teachers, Ms. Gallagher, Ms. Jackman, Ms. Rolette, and their exceptional instructional assistants. We have 36 amazing students on the Doves team. By the way, we are the best team at Westport Middle. I tell my students often that I have the best class at Westport. Now, I would like to cite some examples that will evidence that statement. I have 2 girls in my classroom, and their smiles light up our classroom. Both girls work hard and fully participate in all lessons. It is exciting to see the girls fully involved through the use of switches or choosing the correct answer to a comprehension question using eye gaze. I have a very structured classroom. Everyone has a schedule. We follow the same routine every day, but of course we learn new and different content every day. One of my students keeps us all on track. I think he knows everyone's bus number, everyone's schedule, and mine as well. He is not happy if someone is absent. He is our manager. We cook every Monday. This young man enjoys cooking class and eating what we prepare. His parents have told me that he has enjoyed the recipes so much that he has independently gathered the materials and ingredients to prepare the recipe again at home. I am thrilled that he is generalizing the cooking skills learned at school to cooking skills used at home. When I see that a student gets the content being taught, I specifically praise that student. Sometimes I even do a happy dance in my head when something like the following happens. It is very important that every student have a means to communicate. I have a student that communicates using his iPad. During a lesson about Canada, this student was answering questions using a pre-programmed AAC device and his iPad. He was reading the page about Canada and saw that the main character went to a hockey game. The student wanted to tell me about the hockey game. The hockey game was not programmed into the AAC device. He quickly went to his iPad, went to categories, went to sports, touched hockey game. I acknowledged his contribution and all. I was doing the happy dance. During our recent parent-teacher conference, his mom told me how he had become so interested in hockey, even though the family had never followed hockey. The student wanted to watch the hockey games during the Olympics. Again, I was doing the happy dance. He made the connections. It is very important that my students with different abilities participate in extracurricular activities. Westport Middle School encourages such participation. I am very proud of my student that fully participates in the art club, the yearbook club, and cooking club. The same student completes classroom work independently using structured work systems. He also makes every poster you see throughout the school. This young man is making a difference in his school community. Dr. Edelman has introduced different initiatives to the teaching staff. An example of one is annotation. I annotate text across all content areas daily during whole class instruction. I was working one-on-one with a student. He was reading a math word problem and began to independently annotate the text. He was generalizing the skill learned in reading to a math problem. I was doing the happy dance in my head. The same student made a difference at Westport's school dance the other Friday. He requested that the DJ play the infamous song, "What Does the Fox Say?" and proceeded to lead the entire student body present in that dance. It was a moment that I will never forget, and yes, I was dancing with him and doing exactly what he did.
Uh-oh.
It is very important to meet each student where they are, provide content at their instructional level, modify materials, make accommodations as needed, provide supports, and make sure every student has a means to communicate. I have high expectations for all my students, and I will not give up on a student. I want you to know about the student who came to me that would not do the work. I kept working with him and encouraging him, and I would not let him not do the work. I also made sure he experienced immediate success in the work he attempted. He has made great gains in his reading and math. I want you to know about the student who came to me and could not sit at his desk and work for more than a minute before he wanted the computer. Through supports, he made a steady progression to fully participate in a lesson at his instructional level for 30 minutes and enjoy a 5-minute break without a computer. I want you to know about the student that came to me that had been given material above his instructional level. He was merely asked to trace his name on a paper and trace the answers. The work had no meaning for him. When I gave him work at his instructional level, for example, an adapted story to read with supports and comprehension questions, he would push the book to the floor and kick or pinch me. I continued to work with him using appropriate materials. He now demonstrates gains across all content levels and loves the work and school. My parents are my greatest resources. They know and understand their children's abilities better than anyone. I have a wonderful young man who came to me that I felt wasn't being challenged enough. I have worked closely with his parents, and we have put together a school-to-home program that has helped him make proficient progress at school, home, and in the community. I want to thank my students this year and in the past 13 years for making me the teacher I am today. I have learned how to be a better teacher from every student. I want to thank my current and former parents for their continued support. I truly have the best parents. I want to thank my team for being supportive and awesome team players. I want to thank my related services staff, Mr. Murray, my speech teacher, Ms. Aberly, my occupational therapist, Ms. Prinkleton, my physical therapist, Ms. Murphy, my vision teacher. I want to thank you for all you do for my students. I want to thank the amazing peer tutors that come to my classroom daily and work alongside my students. I hope that you all become teachers one day. Thank you, Dr. Edelman, faculty and staff of Westport Middle, for your love and support. I don't think you have ever denied a request that I have made for my students. Never has there been a more supportive school. In closing, I would like to thank my family for being present today. My brother Ray and his wife Carol, thank you for being my biggest benefactor. Your donation and support provided my classroom with an iPad and a document camera. To my sister-in-law, Linda, thank you for your support and for providing items for Westport's silent auction this past fall. To my son, Jonathan, thank you for coming today. You and your sister, Beth, are the reasons that I am a teacher. I love being your first teacher. Finally, I want to thank my husband, Steve, my best friend. You are my biggest supporter, and you have always believed in me. Again, I thank you for this amazing award that honors the teaching profession, and I promise to everyone here to be an even better teacher next year, because a good teacher never stops learning. Thank you.